Konnichiwa everybody, long time no see. When it comes to the medieval-inspired aesthetics, fantasy settings have certainly taken the lion's share of strategy game awards. This makes historical medieval strategy games all the more enticing when they do release due to the generally spare presence on the market. The Valiant makes a compelling case for being one of the better games in the historical setting when its distinct narrative and robust combat system. KITE Games, which is located in Budapest, the Valiant sees you talking on the role of Theodoric, a retired crusader king who seen their comrade in arms fall to corruptive effect of an ancient and mysterious artifact. You'll need to get the experienced Theodoric quest to solve the mystery of the artifact and perhaps save his knifed brother from the madness through a reliably lengthy solo campaign. Throughout the campaign, players can expect to find loot, level up their heroes, meet an unselected cast of characters, recruitment and mercenaries to fill out the ranks of your one-board, and most of all, engage in phased real-time squad-based micro-intensity skirmish-style combat, a company of heroes. For added replayability, the developers even put together a cooperative mode akin to the Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 2 Last Stand, as well as competitive multiplayer mode where you can put your tactical knowledge to the test against other medieval students and enthusiasts. The Valiant presentation does quite a solid job of introducing you to the game world without the audio design and storytelling choices being particular highlights. The voice acting is energetic, clear, and mixed well throughout the game, even the more some over-the-top assets to make their way into the dialogue. The dramatic writing goes hand in hand with the voice acting and really brings the characters to life. Music is dynamic and effectively reflects the state of battlefield and missions at hand, slowing down for its tactical pauses and then going full swing into pulse-pounding percussion and fitting melody when the battle begins. Weapon sound effects also help to create a lively soundscape when you force clash with the enemy, capturing the feel of an intense and brutal brawl. Through the stories itself is the most original aspect of the Valiant. The developers cleverly choose to expose the story most throughout in mission character interactions and beautifully illustrated cutscenes. This approach pairs nicely with the dramatic narration from your accompanying monk who recruits you and the smart of the game and reflects you on their travels by particularly writing their manuscript in front of you and illustrating key moments in beautiful inked out detail. The game falls a bit short in audio and narrative presentation, however maps are generally readable, with plenty of color reflecting different biomes and important areas of the map. Throughout there are some minor areas of confusion where the patches of basic tall grass can sometimes look quite similar to the patches of cover that can actually hide your troops. Character animations are also a bit stiff during mission cutscenes and don't accurately translate the same energy as the dialogue of voicing acting, but they are serviceable enough to get the character basic idea and emotional state across. However, it's the tactical combat system where the Valiant true strength lie. The first positive aspect in that the micro-oriented gameplay that focus on the positioning, timing and precision inherently engaging as well. There always be something to keep you busy. This also means that there are a decent high skill ceiling in both solo and multiplayer modes for you to hone your skills and continue improving. The devs include a solid array of distinct units with their own impactful battlefields and distinguished tactical roles. The dev team clearly understand the core point of interest in tactical games where the players maneuver and jockey to create the most optimal engagements for their units and prevail over their opponents. However, some engagements can turn into amorphous mosh pits with the little potential of interaction and maneuvering through. Luckily, these situations are generally uncommon. Here, units, equipment, skill trees, and a lot of helps also help elevate the Valiant tactical gameplay. Heroes, while powerful, are limited enough is that they don't come across as broken super soldier units that make most others feel pointless. You need to carefully use your characters with the basic mercenary units for all-round force capable of responding for different threats and the situation. Unfortunately, the devs didn't include the much pre-mission information for you to build your own vagabond, but it means that limits some players' strategic decision-making the potential. The simple equipment and skill point system provide just enough customization options that trying different unit built in a perfectly valid way of approaching the game. You can just as easy specialize your heroes into a dedicated path or go for a more broad approach for a jack of all trade style composition. The Valiant does include a limited construction system where you can build towers, palisaders, traps, and other items, but although this is perhaps the weakest component of the game, and it does more to consider the action into the grindy mosh pits that open up opportunities for clamoring thinking. The system only serves to confirm the game really shinks in the combat period with opportunities for maneuvering and quick adaptation. Mission design is another Valiant strong suit. There is a great variety of missions with multiple objective stages. Missions can be ranged from defending against the ambushes, holding on during a desperate siege, and all the way to climatic boss battles where unique knowledge and a quick reaction will be tested to the max. Essentially, the developers do a solid job of keeping the campaign fresh with the distinct environments, enemy types, and objectives. In addition, after compelling campaign missions, you unlock the challenges for each mission, which adds layers of replayability to the campaign, even though the story itself follows a linear part. Unfortunately, the Valiant is just a tad too safe for our own good to be truly classified a great strategy game. In terms of gameplay, it's quite reminiscent and destructive creations like Exanter's Legacy, which is also a medieval set, real-time action tactics game, through with less or an emphasis of role-playing and characters. Also, the Valiant is yet another strategy game that once again primarily set in the medieval Europe, an era of history that's already been done dead in strategy gaming. Despite its mixed ambition and safe choices, the Valiant has a few interesting ideas going for it. For one, the devs incorporate Christian theology as the backbone for the low fantasy elements, which reminiscent of Arthurian legend and a treatment of Christianity found in games such as now King Arthur's Night Tale, the treatment religion and the kind of mythological inspiration for unique stories and itself an original idea and the way it's presented. The Valiant is something we'd like to see more. So, the voice acting, writing, and narrative presentation deserves a special mention and immersing you in its own world, the kindly quest that you must go on. Ultimately, the Valiant is a solid medieval strategy game that's certainly worth your time, and we can fully recommend picking it up. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Peace.